Hi, this is another episode of Lee Street Beat. I'm Sandra, along with S Hacker and T the Man, and we just want to welcome you to another episode. Today is the day after 4th of July. Yes, it's the 5th of July, and guess what? Today, Scott Pruitt resigned. And he sent his letter to President Trump, and I'm going to tell you something. The letter that he sent was like a little bit self-loathing, talking about how, he really felt like he needed to resign, having to do with all of the, backlash that he's been getting for all of the scandals. Tina, man, you got this information, man. What did you think?
I think it's a good day for America that Scott Pruitt is gone. He's been wasting the taxpayers' money, and he's been doing tremendous damage to the environment, probably irreparable damage to the environment. It should have happened a lot sooner. He should have been gone. But they have a replacement there. We don't know how this woman is going to be, this interim replacement. So it might be just as bad, if not worse. But basically, they're covering the policy of Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants this. He wants to drill in the Arctic. And the thing about it is, when something goes wrong, and when it's going to go horribly, tragically wrong, he's going to blame somebody. He's going to say, oh, it was protesters who did it. Oh, well, the people who did it hired illegal aliens. They caused it. He won't take responsibility of the catastrophe that we know is going to happen. I'm glad he's gone. I don't miss him. I know he has like 12 to 15 investigations. I hope they indict him on some kind of criminal charge. I hope he goes to jail, and I hope Trump can't pardon him. That's what I'm hoping for.
S Hacker, when you heard the news about EPA getting Scott Pruitt out of there, how did you feel?
I felt the same as those EPA employees who've been there for decades, to see this guy come in and try to ruin the environment. Well, again, throughout his small amount of time there, he's done, again, as T the Man said, he's done irreparable harm to the environment. And the only reason he was doing that because people were paying him. He said that he only talks to people who have contributed to him in some way or got his wife a job. He has some people get his wife a job. Really? On the taxpayer dime, you the human resources for your wife? Really? Is that what we doing?
I think a lot of things turned for him when the people that he brought with him from Oklahoma, he had them like, picking up his laundry, trying to find this special lotion, and
right,
doing all these menial things, and they just resigned.
Right.
I mean, I think that, when Scott Pruitt really looked at the amount of scandals and the amount of investigations that he's involved in, I believe he just decided, hey, I need to go get me a lawyer. What you think, T?
I don't know what he
don't need a lawyer. I mean, he's gonna need
a lawyer. Yeah, you need a lawyer. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna get a Trump lawyer. Maybe he'll get Rudy. I don't know. Rudy looks like he's available. He's like he can take on more, because he's all about spin and no facts and no rules of law. So speaking of lawyers,
egregious.
on that,
egregious what he's been doing.
Michael Cohen has Lanny Davis as one of his representatives. If nobody knows, Lanny Davis was a big supporter of Hillary Clinton. I mean, he basically jumped to the other side. There is some subliminal message there. I'm waiting to see.
There was a lot of lawyers that he could have chosen, but I believe that he chose this one because he was, closely affiliated with the Clinton campaign. And you know what? Hey, you know what? This is him, giving a little dig to Trump, letting him know, you know what? Playing your game, baby.
Yeah, playing your game and winning at it. Because, Trump, he's all about the win. Well, Trump, he took a loss. And like everything in life, you don't win all the time. There are sometimes you take a loss. I mean, it's a war going on here. And it's a war for the soul of America, for the people who are good and righteous. And we're fighting a force of evil. And we're going to lose some battles. I mean, this Supreme Court, that's a little battle that we probably engage and lose. But the good thing about it is we can do just like them. We can change the rules of the game.
Absolutely. We can put more people on the court. You know, Jim Jordan, Jim Jordan has been accused of turning a blind eye to the Ohio State wrestling team. They say that he witnessed atrocities that took place in the shower. You know, this is supposedly happened about, 15, 20 years ago. But, I'm not a Jim Jordan fan. I think that he's a person who just trumps up a lot of stuff. I think that he antagonizes people. I think a lot of the rhetoric that comes out of his mouth, it might be becoming a haunting him. He may need to, at the end of this, put on his blazer.
This sounds like another case that might be another Sandusky case that happened at Penn State.
Right.
That's right.
Joe Paterno turned a blind eye to Sandusky when he was doing abusing those boys. Jim Jordan has probably done the same. He's not going to admit to it. He said, if you can't prove it, I don't care how much evidence you have, but if you can't prove it, then it doesn't matter anything. That's the philosophy. So when you have evidence, it's not proof. And when you have proof, they say that's not evidence. That's how they play the game. But we'll see where this takes off. Hopefully he gets swept up in this. He'll cry, make a statement, and resign. I'm doing like them. Any means necessary. This is how I want him to go.
I mean, these wrestlers can go ahead and join the Me Too movement. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because again,
and
even though it involves, men, to me, it's still a sexual assault because it's not consensual. These victims were at the age where they could consent and they did not, and to just turn a blind eye to something like that was systemic. It wasn't like this was a one-off, like this happened one time. No.
One of the wrestlers said they told him, so there's no way that he can say he didn't know because he said, I told him.
Exactly.
Well, apparently he's saying he didn't know. He said he don't remember. He didn't hear it. And like you say, not only do you have to have evidence, which is the wrestler saying that he said it, but now you have to prepare proof that he did it. So unless you have some recording, he's going to deny it. I mean, why should he admit to it? Because it's not going to help him saying, yeah, you did tell me that I didn't do nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were abused like this. I wish I would have did something. Nope, that's not going to come from his lips.
Oh, no. Again, he will only do something or admit to something when it's abundantly clear to the Republicans that he needs to do something. He doesn't care about what the masses think, but what the people who, they make these deals with are his peers in Congress. When they abandon him, that's when he'll admit to it. When he has no other option, he will admit.
I think when there's irrefutable evidence too that might be brought by the wrestlers, it's going to be a combination of things, but, I expect, very much like, the Penn State case, that this is going to be explosive and that's going to be something that, we need to watch,
Right.
So guys, I know that you all have been watching about the soccer players that have been, stuck in a cave in Thailand. There's 12, young boys and their soccer coach. I guess now I think they got a couple of doctors there too. So, I mean, this is a horrible story. Story. These young men went into a cave, left their backpacks and shoes at the front of the cave, and were going through some type of an initiation with the younger soccer players so that they could, if they could, get through all these narrow passages and get to the end and get to initiate, put their initials on this cave wall. Well, you know what? That was damn near 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Right.
The conditions have changed.
Yeah.
And I think, for all of us, I'm just wondering, why did y'all do that in the beginning? That sounds like hazing. What you think?
It is a type of hazing. It is a type of hazing. You're going there. They're 3 miles inside of a cave. The reason why they can't come out because there's a monsoon going on. A monsoon is like hurricanes. They're coming. Why would you do that?
And they can't swim.
No,
Never learn to swim.
no, they can't swim. They're in there, and then it just seems kind of odd and strange that they would go into a monsoon, into a cave for 3 miles to what was going to do? Make them a man out of them? Did they have a winning record, undefeated? I don't understand what the whole purpose of it was.
To me, I think, you've had the soccer skills to get to this point. What's the point of the initiation? And again, we say initiation. There was no standardized initiation. There was no initiation approved by the team sponsors or anything like that. This was just, again, it's simply hazing. And hazing has been outlawed since the early 2000s. So whose bright idea this was, again, like T the man said, you knew a monsoon was coming.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what the hazing laws are in Thailand.
But again,
we don't know what the hazing laws are in Thailand.
I bet they change after this.
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
You know what? I swear to God, I mean, these kids can't swim. It is horrible. The parents, the families, everybody. I mean, if they don't get them out real soon, they talking about they have to stay there till October.
Right.
I mean, in the same clothes, they got those little silver blankets. I mean, this is a horrible story, but it is a blessing that they were found because it took days to find them.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. They said they're gonna try to dig them out from the other.
I don't know if these kids want to play soccer.
How this goes. This is terrible. This.
They missed the World Cup too in that cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. They missed the soccer. They missed it all.
They're gonna miss a whole lot. They're gonna miss school. Right now, they're missing a porta potty, and I know they need one up in that cave.
Okay, and a shower.
And
I guess they can dip in the water, but they can't.
And a good night's sleep.
That's gonna work.
Yeah. And they have to stay there till October. That's horrible.
That is.
So Tita, man, you saw something about a man that was castrated and it made you feel some kind of way. Tell us about it, because I'm unfamiliar with the story.
There was this man, I believe it was also in Thailand. He was cheating on his wife.
What's going on in Thailand?
There's a whole lot going on in Thailand. He was cheating on his wife. While she was asleep, she cut off his male anatomy and took it and threw it away. Of course, this is cases like Lorena Bobbitt, but he wasn't as fortunate and lucky. By the time they found it and tried to reattach it to him, it was not to be saved, as they say. She's sitting in jail. My thing on that is that either she should get the death penalty or she should never see the light of day outside that jail again. They say that this man is depressed and suicidal. I can understand why. That's a horrible thing to go through because he was cheating with another woman.
It sure would have been a lot better had they been able to reattach it. But the fact that they couldn't reatach it, it changes everything.
She might have been better off if she just had a fit of rage and just stabbed him,
Yeah.
But now that you can't reattach it,
she don't want him no more. Nobody does.
Yeah.
So he's not happy with himself at this point. And the girlfriend that he had was having this affair with, I just put it like this, the intimacy that they had before, it's not going to occur again. That's all I can say about that. And so
okay.
I want to talk about a little bit about, I don't know if you heard about this, in Oregon, there's a black state rep named Janelle Bryan, and she was canvassing her constituents, and she was going door to door. And one of her so-called constituents didn't know that she was there, and she called the police.
Absolutely.
And the police came, and he told her why he was there. He found out who she was, and she had nothing but kind words to say to the police. And it said, and the policeman actually called this woman, but she had already left. But she talked to her on the phone, and basically she says that, there's a sense of paranoia here. Every time you see something you think is wrong, and that we don't know who our neighbors are. And so now we just calling police. But that said, there are a lot of people out there who are weaponizing the law on Black individuals.
Absolutely.
You know, these white women are in like paranoia. Every time somebody's there, they calling the police. If they're in a bed and breakfast, they calling the police. They got some little boys who just having to cut her grass on her side of the line. They're calling the police. The young lady that's in Yale in the dorm room, they call the police on her, and they feel emboldened that they're gonna do it. But suddenly now these police are saying, well, some of them are saying that, you know what, let's take a look. Let me go see what's going on and find out. And I just want to say, when you live in your neighborhood, you know who belongs there. And the other day, I saw a Black man, walking with a shirt and tie, going door to door. I know he didn't live in my neighborhood. Because the people in my neighborhood, not that they don't wear a shirt and tie, is that, you know, they don't go door to door. They either go to somebody's house and they go about their business, or they don't go to the next neighbor's house. So I concluded that he might have been a Jehovah's Witness, and he was. He left me a brochure. I told him I was busy and I would talk to him at some other time, and he wanted to come back, and I told him, I'll get back to you.
They left something in my door.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I opened up the door. It was like it was tucked in, you know.
Yes.
Right.
I wasn't here. I don't mess with them.
But at least you didn't call the police.
No, I don't call the police.
No, I'm talking about Sandra.
Listen. I have real thugs that live on the street. You know, until they recognize as a danger, I don't need to call the police.
No.
I tell you, and if you do, I'm the one gonna end up going to jail. So ain't no need of me call police. You know,
but I will say one time, and this was funny, that I came home one day and came home from work and I saw this van in front of my house. And you know, it's unusual because, like you say, when you live on the block, you go up there. So they came down to me and they said, T the man, do you know who van that is? I said, no, I never seen it before. He said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and call the police. And I was shocked. I said, the criminal calling the police? And there's something wrong. He called the police.
Okay.
They were trying to do an undercover sting on him. And they stood
wow.
out there with their cell phones, recorded when our local city police knocked on the door and told them to come on out with the guns drawn, because and then they flashed it back around, looking back at him and laughing. But hey, they know who lives on the block and they know who to be there. So
yeah, because they have these things that they can they're called, again, it's not like a sky catcher or something like that, where the law enforcement can park a van in a neighborhood, and once they turn this apparatus on, it collects all the cell phone calls within that range.
Woo!
Yeah, well, you know what? That's
again, I like that. Yeah.
But these criminals, they're smart. They know that. They know they got cameras. So what do? They go old school. Hey, man, come on over here. Let me holler at you. Step back here, away from the camera. And whatever transaction or communication they want to use is what it is. They ain't texting. They ain't talking on the phone. They talking face to face. Shake hands, hug each other like you know.
Yeah.
One go his way, the other go the other, down the street. That's how
everything's good.
Yeah, everything is all good.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny.
So Sam,
yeah, well, you know what? They had another incident too. A family. It happened in Georgia, Coweta County. A family with about 4 young kids, anywhere from, I think the age was like maybe 18 to like maybe 11 or 12. They had 4 kids. It was mother and father and a grandmother. They stopped at Subway. You know, they all got out. They all, got, sandwiches. They ate there. They were there about an hour. And so naturally, they're traveling. They went, all of the kids and everybody went to the bathroom. After being there an hour, they called the police on them, talking about, well, I just, after they've been here an hour, I just feel like they're going to rob me. It's like, and then again, you know what? The police must be hearing something, because this police officer was able to, again, let her know that she shouldn't have really called, and that, it was okay for, the family to be there an hour and that they weren't going to rob her. But The whole thing about it is that we continue to constantly get many, many, many reports of Black people trying to live and white women calling 911 on them.
Right.
Crazy.
Wasting law enforcement resources. I mean, most cities in these United States, they're cash strapped. You know, their budget is as tight as it has been in a while, especially with like you take the city of Hoover, right? Everybody thinks Hoover is just, awash with money. Hoover, the Galleria, is suffering like any other mall in America. They're
Oh
suffering the
yeah.
Amazon effect. So as stores close and as they don't get that tax revenue from all the stores and that sales revenue, yeah, their budgets, again, Hoover is having to raise taxes. That hadn't happened in a long time, all right?
Wow.
But again, you add on, the misuse of law enforcement. Again, that's an expenditure. That gas
All of
or
it exacerbates the budget.
yes, for what? Somebody cutting grass, a family staying. And let me tell you this. I've seen subway robberies on TV, right? They come in robbing you. They don't sit down and have a sandwich and lollygag.
Bring grandma. They don't bring
Yeah,
grandma.
they
You
go
know
into the
what?
bathroom and then after, they nice and full.
They
Yeah,
don't
we're
bring
gonna
the
rob you
kids
now.
home.
Yeah, we're gonna rob you now. Really?
Yeah, got the family with them.
They walk
On
in and they
vacation.
jump the counter. They don't like, yeah, I'm gonna make me a tuna sub. No, they walk in and jump the counter. It's a robbery off the top.
Okay,
They're not
straight
gonna
up.
walk around and wait.
No.
That's ridiculous.
And earlier, we talked about the funeral in the church.
Oh man. As all of us, 3 kids that grew up Catholic, we have to talk about this. I can't with these people.
I don't know as much about it. I know a little bit about it is that they were in the church and they went up on the altar and they apparently accidentally knocked the chalice over and broke it. As being a
They
former
didn't break
altar
it, but they
boy
knocked it over.
that was not abused, may I say that. When you knock over the priest his wine, they get upset. And apparently this pastor became so highly upset about it, he just stopped service and said, "Get out."
Wow.
There will be no funeral. There will be no service. You need to get this. And he referred to the body as get this thing out of here. It was horrible. There's a lot of things that, the Archdiocese and the Vatican have done and that have been really bad. But to have a priest act like this at a funeral, and it was a Black funeral, and just in the middle of the funeral, I mean, they knocked over the chalice. I mean, you were altar boy. Chalices are not made of crystal. They're not, they're usually
There's some kind of metal. They're brass or
they're brass.
Right.
You drink out of them when you go up there, and it was a mistake, and it was a funeral, and I needed for the pastor, I needed for the priest to be a priest and to be compassionate. You know what? He should have just picked it up on the slide, not even said nothing, kept it moving.
That's what a real professional.
Made him get the body out of there.
Yeah,
but
right.
The police was good in this case. He called the police.
And the Archdiocese did speak out about that. And so he's been removed from his pastoral duties, which he should have.
Right.
But the problem is, you find bias in every institution.
Right.
And you find it in the religion institutions also. So I'm not surprised that it happened. I'm just saddened that it did happen.
Again, and I'm real saddened for the family because, they were already at a moment of, not their happiest place. And for this to occur, it just, it just redoubled that sadness to add this level of unprofessionalism to it.
He has since come out and apologized. He realized that he was not acting as a priest or a Christian. What was the good part of the story, has to do with the police officer that came. He came and he saw what happened, and what he did was he was able to get another church to right then let them, go there and have a service. So so what he did, the police led them,
Mm-hmm.
through the streets to the other church. So it's another good example of cops doing good. So
Right.
but then like I said, the priest, he tried to be remorseful, but
Mhm.
there's no excuse for that. No excuse for that. None whatsoever.
I agree.
Horrible.
Well, in Chicago this weekend,
I
we're
do
going to have a
believe
protest
Catholic Church.
with Father Flager of St. Sabina. They're
Mhm.
going to shut down the expressway starting at 10 a.m. And they're going to march from, I think, 79th to 65th Street or whatever it is, 67th Street.
I think they even invited me on Facebook.
Yeah,
They invited me to come
they
check
are,
it out.
and for people who don't know who Father Flager is, he's an activist priest.
Mhm.
Even though he's a Catholic priest, when you walk into his church, it's like a Baptist church.
Oh wow.
He's adopted. Him too has adopted some African American young boys as his sons.
Mhm.
The prior Cardinal George, they were bumping heads because they didn't like his activism.
Mhm.
But with this new Pope Francis, who's a Jesuit and who's more active in community and doing things like that, so kind of gave him the green light to keep going what you're doing. And then now we got our new Cardinal Blaise Supich, who's came from out west, but he was a little bit of activist, not like Flager. Flager, he's a flamethrower.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he marched. He does not play. And you know what? God bless him. I love him. I always, felt like anytime he got behind something that people had to listen because he got up in your face. He was that white priest at that black parish that, let everybody know that, there's stuff going on here and we got to talk about it. We're going to march about it. There's things that's wrong in this community. And he stayed on, the government's butt. I love everything that he's done. He's always tried to be on the right side of a lot of issues. And believe me, there's been a lot of issues, a lot. Every time somebody gets killed.
Right.
Yeah, so
I guess the interesting thing is see what Rahm Emanuel is going to do. We had the state police superintendent come on television and talking about, please do not go on the expressway. If you do, we don't want to arrest you, but we will. So that's like a dig from the governor. Rahm don't want people on the expressway. So far, Rahm has kept quiet because I guess he's saying these are state roads, supposedly. But it goes through the city of Chicago. He has a lot to say about it. I think Rahm is going to play the smart thing and say something like, people should be able to protest freely and to shut down the road for maybe a half an hour. He'll do the political correct thing, I believe. So, and also because he's going to be running for re-election and he ain't going to do nothing to mess up his chances. Unlike the governor who's running, Romner, he's already shaky and this ain't helping his cause none. So that's what I got to say about that, But anyway, I won't be going in that direction that time Saturday, so it won't affect me. So I'm gonna give anybody listening that lives in Chicago, take Lakeshore Drive, avoid the confrontation.
exactly.
Just out there will be other ministers out there, and if this turns bad, it's gonna be a career killer for certain politicians. I will say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the protest will be longer than a half an hour. Yeah, I think they're gonna carry it live on a lot of stations, and I think we're gonna see some unrest. I mean, there's a lot going on. And so, having said that, yesterday was the 4th of July, and we had a young lady who climbed the Statue of Liberty. Now, this was not planned, but the protest was planned, and they were protesting about the families not being together there on the border and what the separation is doing. And she just out of the blue went and climbed up, and it was live. And, a lot of people were talking about it. And for some people, just looking online, it was something that was kind of funny. But for her, I think she really wanted to make a statement on the 4th of July at the Statue of Liberty. And I think she did. What you think, T?
I think she made a statement, but the problem is that she made a statement is that she's an immigrant. So
Okay, it's a problem
either
now.
a visa or a green card. And now in the land of Trump, they are arresting people for any minor fraction and deporting them. So climbing the Statue of Liberty, I don't know if that's a felony or a misdemeanor. If it's a felony, she's gone, unless she has citizenship. Even if it's a misdemeanor, she's going to be gone because basically she showed them up and humiliated them and called out the hypocrisy of what they're doing to immigrants. I applaud her. I just say that people who are out there who are protesting, if your status is very vulnerable, let the citizen do it. Let the American citizen do it.
If you want to stay here,
yeah,
if you want to go back home,
let them do it.
You want to test the system, you okay?
I do it, or S. Hacker do it, or Sandra do it. They can't deport us.
I'll go do it.
They're not going to deport us.
LeeStreetBeat.com. Contact us at LeeStreetBeat.com. I'll go.
Yeah, so I would say that she was very brave to climb that Statue of Liberty because, me,
she got skills.
I just would have sent a drone up there with a little flag and just let it come across.
Exactly, something like that.
So that's what I would have did. But we need more people like her. We need people standing out here, but we don't need people who vulnerable that's going to be deported because they're asking this government to uphold what is right. And it's the irony of it. She breaks the law, she's punished. They break the law and they're rewarded. It's like, reality turned inside out.
Exactly.
You just can't wrap your mind around it. That's all I gotta say. It's terrible. But hopefully, this won't happen to her. And if it do, maybe they can get a GoFundMe page and help with her defense. That's what I got to say.
Absolutely. Hopefully ACLU or some other organizations can speak for her. So listen, guys, 4th of July was yesterday. I still got barbecue left. How was your 4th of July?
My 4th of July, my wife decided to barbecue. It was 95 degrees outside. She decided that she was going to cook for a lot of people, but it was just me and her. And it turned to be 95 degrees inside my house. The food was good.
Oh, it was more than 95 out in your house if it was 95 outside.
She brought the heat. The air conditioning was working overtime. And that's the reason why, one of the reasons why I didn't want to do it, it was like, Senator, you've been here, so you know how my wife cooks. If it's one, she thinks she's cooking for.
She's one of the best cooks. She really is. Oh my God.
I mean, I appreciate what she did, but sometimes it's like, in my household, it's a kingdom. I'm the king, she's the queen. Sometimes the queen rule, sometimes the king rule. When she told me what she was doing, I got back in my little spot like the pauper and sat down and tried to keep cool. That's what I do.
You are a very smart man, man.
Yeah. You got some barbecue left over?
We did, and so that was dinner tonight. It was lunch. I think there's a spaghetti left, so that might be breakfast tomorrow.
Okay. How about you, Ash? Did you eat a lot for the holiday?
Oh yeah, I ate way too much, as most Americans did yesterday. I have a few fireworks I set off. I'm not admitting to, where my location was, but I'm admitting to that. So I got to be a big kid again, and I hung out with my family and watching other little kids, doing fireworks. It's what the 4th of July is about. Eating and just being with people that just to have a good time.
Awesome. Well, listen, we got to wind this up. I hope everybody had a great holiday. T the Man will be back next week. S Hacker will be back. So once again, thank you for subscribing.
I might have a surprise for you. I might be in your neck of the woods. I might come and do the broadcast live with you.
Oh, look at that.
What?
It could happen. It could happen.
If it goes down, it goes down.
Details.
Absolutely. All right.
If I do come, make sure you do something.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Okay. So anyway, this is Lee Street Beat. Thank everyone for tuning in. And just let everybody know, in August, we are going to have a link where you can come in and make comments live on our broadcast as we go live. So for all of us right now, have a safe weekend, and everybody take care and help one another. So for that, bye-bye.
Good.
Bye.